And whilst a lot of enterprises do prefer point products and they like to go best of breed, what they're finding now is that that is more and more challenging. You get multiple portals that you need to log in to manage, slightly different or potentially overlapping policies, which may create overlapping false positive alerts. You then have to manage the costs associated with potentially multiple different renewals within different contracts. So what we're seeing from our clientele in both enterprise and down into the mid-market and SME as well is that a consolidated approach is not only much more cost effective, but it's also a lot more efficient from an operational perspective. You don't get the false positives. If you have products like ours that support things like log streaming, absolutely, you can still send out logs to SIEM or SOAR systems if you have third-party alerting and logging platforms in a SOC. But for the user or the security practitioner that is focused on managing a big environment with a small team, product overload is a killer. And I'd say by consolidating into a single platform, that is by far the most effective way to reduce risk. Because not only are you saving costs and obviously becoming more efficient, you're effectively covering those potential gaps that are there with point products that, someone may cover the endpoint while someone else covers email, while somebody else covers web security. That will undoubtedly introduce gaps and potential holes where the bad guys could come in and get access. So by having products consolidated is one thing, but also having the individual modules communicate within themselves is really key to this. My personal opinion when it comes to having a portfolio of tools really comes to one thing, and that's intercommunication. So tools that have modular or compartmentalized tools is really key. And when you look at terms like XDR, that is really key to cross communication. And I talked a little bit in this earlier around orchestration. So if a threat comes in on email, how do you then communicate that threat object or that intel with a web product or a CASB product? And obviously we can do that internally, but if you look at XDR, for instance, where you may be having web security, but then an endpoint agent like a traditional antivirus product, you need to be able to communicate vendor to vendor. And having a framework to do that, whether it's over an API link or through some other standardized method of communication, is absolutely critical.